processing centre. Now, we were here yesterday, and I have to tell you that the whole mood of this place has changed quite subtly, because yesterday there was a lot of goodwill around this place. Plenty of people arriving from Ukraine, and they had places to go to. They had family members meeting them. It feels today as if this is turning rapidly much more into the sort of refugee
orang Ukraina sudah
processing
melarikan diri ke
facility
perbatasan
that you might get in
oleh karena
Calais
serangan
or Lampedusa or something in
Rusia.
Lesbos. Far more people who are milling around, who don't seem to have a plan of where to go to. And I have to say, we can't take you inside here, but this is because we've been asked not to film in there. People who own this building don't want us going in there. But in there, there are hundreds of people who are using camp beds, and lots of them are men. And we didn't see so much of that yesterday. And almost all of them are non-Ukrainians. So I was in there half an hour or so ago. There's a queue of maybe 60, 70 people queuing up to try and get some temporary papers. And I spoke to a few of them. There were some people there from Uzbekistan, from Mongolia. I spoke to a man who had come from India. He'd been a chef in a restaurant in Odessa. And he said he'd left when he heard explosions. And he then said that he got as near as he could to the border, the city of Lviv, just near the border, and had then got stuck in an enormous traffic jam and had walked. And he estimated he'd walked about 30 kilometers in order to get to the border. I have to say he, like a lot of people here, was absolutely exhausted. Now, Poland has said it will take in all Ukrainians, that it will look after them, that it will give them housing and education, it will give them shelter.
Yang melarikan diri
that this process
adalah
is
perempuan-perempuan dan anak-anak.
Welcoming these people to now Poland, and I think the EU is
Karena
having to
sebagian
think,
besar
in reality, how do you accommodate
orang dewasa
humanitarian crisis
Ukraina harus tinggal membantu militer untuk mempertahankan negara kesatuan.
Well, the Russian ruble has fallen to a record low today after sanctions against Russia were tightened
Dan
still
sampai saat
further.
ini sudah ada 102 yang meninggal warga negara Ukraina.
What's going on in Russia and their banks?
Termasuk 7 anak-anak.
The weekend in which the West sought to sanction Russia's central bank is by far the biggest stick yet wielded. We were talking last week, of course, about cutting Russian banks out of SWIFT, the global interbank messaging service that facilitates cross-border payments. Now, that in itself is pretty damaging in that it hinders the ability of Russian banks to make payments or collect payments cross-border on behalf of their clients. But this is far bigger still because it effectively prevents Russia from getting its hands on a large part of the $643 billion cushion that it's built up over recent years to protect itself against the impact of sanctions. So potentially that is a move that could precipitate a financial crisis in Russia. It will certainly lead potentially to more inflation and shortages of goods. And accordingly, as you say, the ruble has fallen very sharply. At one point it was down by 29% against the US dollar. It's actually recovered a bit as the morning has gone on. It's only about 17% off on the course of the day. It's down some 65% against the dollar over the last 5 years. The Russian central bank has responded by raising its main policy rate, interest rates. They've gone up from 9.5% to 20% today. And in the last few minutes, Jane, the central bank governor in Russia, Elvira Nabiullina, she has been stating the reasons why the central bank acted in the way